Alright guys, let's take a look at Brooks's golf swing. So these are a couple golf swings from recent. This one on the right is going to be one from this past weekend, or this weekend where he won the WGC. The one on the left is, I'm really not sure when. But great to look at the face-on down the line view of his golf swing. I like a lot of things that he does in the setup position. When you can get into the setup position like Brooks, you're going to have really, really good results from what he does. So when we look at the face-on view, you're going to see his trail side much lower than his lead side, and this is going to stay relevant throughout the whole entire bag. You want the trail side to be lower than the lead side. As you shorten the golf clubs, that starts to level out a little bit because the object becomes shorter. You get a little bit closer to it, and your shoulders can then level out a little bit more. But you're right, your trail side is always going to be lower than your lead side. That is always going to remain true because your hand is lower than the other hand. So the one side of the body has to be lower than the other. So you're going to see both the pelvis and the shoulders be in that nice perspective there. And then when you get into his golf swing, again, going back to what we talked about when he won the US Open last time he won, the trail hand's very, very strong, so his face is going to be shut. Typically, that's what's going to happen and why his wrist angles look the way they do at the top of the swing. He has ball position pretty far forward, like in playing fades, so he just have to hold the golf club off and rotate it a little bit differently to make sure that face doesn't rotate over, because if he does, he's going to hit hooks, and that's not going to be a very fun experience for anybody if Brooks hitting the hook right at your dome, because that ball is coming in hot, right? So as we get into the golf swing, I love his move away. You start to see his trail side turn. Here, his whole spine, everything in his body is turned away from the target as we go into the down the line view. Right side turns, shoulders are getting a nice pitch into the shoulders here. The hips don't turn a ton for Brooks. Nice stable base. His arms work a little bit more vertical up at the top, but again, what we want to see, the golf shaft is like a barrel of the gun. The barrel of the gun needs to be pointed at the target where you want the ball to go or where you want your object to go. So Brooks does a great job of getting to the top of his swing, pointing the club at where he wants the golf ball to go. Again, the face is a little shut here. Again, the face is up towards the sky as we get up to the top. So flat face, forearm would be right in this perspective here. Face is up here. And the lead wrist is a little bit in that flex position. Again, that goes back to how he holds the golf club, and again, how he turns and shallows out the golf club. A lot of that is just the momentum of the golf club returning. Most of you players that have the over the top swing typically open up this too early, and when that happens, your shoulders get too left, the path gets too left. It's very, very difficult to get the golf ball to return, or get the club to return that way. Sorry, there's an ambulance that just pulled in, or excuse me, a fire truck that's pulling across the street, so we got some nice flashing lights. I hope everybody's okay. Anywho, as you continue to go up to the top of the swing on the face-on view, I really, really like where his position is here at the top. Again, he's nice and turned away. Back's turned here. As you look at the right shoulder, the right hip, and the right knee, ankle, the whole thing is all in the same line. This is similar to like Tiger in 2000. I think this is just a really, really good position for players to get in at the top of the swing because you're loaded up in that trail leg, and then you're going to start to see a nice lateral motion into the forward swing when he starts changing direction here. As he comes in, you're going to start to see that nice lateral motion, that lead foot coming a little bit almost like it comes off the ground there. So if you're looking at the lead foot, that left foot here, you can start to see that kind of start to change and pivot. And then when he gets down, that pelvis nice and level here at the transition. And look at the down the line view. Starts to transition down. His shoulders are staying nice and closed off as his body rotates. Arms get in front of his body. Club's in a really good spot. You see a good amount of what we call kind of that right bend position. So you're starting to do like a side crunch and starting to turn. That's really helping him shallow out the golf club and getting that club into a really good spot to get that to impact. And then as we go back to the setup position, you're going to see that lead arm on top of the trail arm, and then you're going to see him return that back in the same parameters. So as he returns that club back, that lead arm and that trail arm are pretty close to where they started. You want to see the lead arm still on top of the trail arm. Every single good ball striker has had that position, and most of us set up into a position where our shoulders are more level, our trail sides on top of that lead side, it makes it super challenging to get back into this position to start. So you should start the way you want it to impact the look. It's going to be a lot easier to return that way, and it's a lot less effort, especially for you weekend warriors that are going out there. So as we continue going into the impact position, you're going to start to see him kind of get back and away from it here. So again, very similar to that, a little bit more exaggerated, that right bend, because that's the way his shallow is, because if he was deeper into the top of the golf swing, he wouldn't have to worry about it as much. But great impact position, he does play fade, so a little bit more of that hold off. I love the extension of his arms here. It's just like he's trying to throw the golf club down range. You hear Emmanuel de la Torre, the old school golf coach, talk about throwing the club down range and having players throw the club down range. This is kind of what that means, is having the arms extended out. So he gets those nice arms in that position. I love the way his feet work, his pivot here. And it's just really, really solid position of the finish. I mean, you really can't complain about any of this. And then you get to that finish position, everything's stacked on that left leg. Pelvis is going towards the target. Shoulders are moved out of the way. So, I mean, he just does so many good things in his golf swing. But some of the simplistic things that you guys can take away from this video is just how he gets into his setup position, having the shoulders, the hips, that lead arm on top. If you can get these couple things correct to start, you're going to have pretty darn good success overall in your golf swing. And then you're simply just going to turn to the right, let the club point at the target. And then your grip's going to dictate the face. So if you have the grip, if you have a weak grip, the club face is going to be too open. It's going to be challenging for you to get back to this position. The club would be open. You would have a hard time. You're going to come up at the top. So make sure that your grip matches the face that you want. If you want a stronger face like Brooks, strengthen your damn grip. That's all you got to do. If you want a face that's more like Webb, weaken your grip. If you want a face like Tiger or Adam Scott, have a neutral grip. That's about it. That's about as much as you got to do. And then from there, Tiger, Brooks, Adam have very similar positions at the top of the golf swing. It just looks different because they are different human beings. We all have different bodies, we have different length arms, we have different mass in our body, so it's going to look different. The parameters of the golf club remain the same throughout how you hold the golf club, how you turn to the top of the swing, and then as you try to make the impact position, do all that stuff, is all manipulation if it's not completely neutralized. So I really like neutral. I think it's just a much easier spot to play golf from. Not knocking Brooks, obviously the dude's a freaking stud. And he does a lot of things that I really, really like in his golf swing, but if he did have a little bit of a weaker face, I don't think he had to play as much phase, and I think he had more workability of his golf ball. But again, that's just my opinion. Alright, that's it. So, if you guys have any questions, definitely comment below. I appreciate you guys taking the time, listening to my analysis of the Brooks golf swing. Dude's a phenomenal player. I can't wait to see him continue to win throughout his life, throughout his career. If he keeps the way his mind works, he's just going to be continuing to just be an amazing golfer. So, that's it. That's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna sign off now. So, deuces.